Hello, faithful, and welcome to Heaven's Metal Streaming Radio here on YouTube. I'm your host, Keven Crothers, station manager for Heaven's Metal Streaming Radio and staff writer for Heaven's Metal Magazine. Don't forget to check out Heaven's Metal Streaming Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week here on Live 365 on that platform. You can listen to hard rock, heavy metal, classics, and current bands, not just stuff that's ancient, as it were, but new stuff as well. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Available in the United States, Canada, and England, as this stuff is licensed and all royalties are paid to the rights holders. Don't forget to check out heavensmetalmagazine.com for all the latest and greatest info, interviews, reviews of all the latest bands as well. Today, our classic albums in review segment, we're going to go to 1986. We're going to Salem, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, for Saint. This is their second album entitled Time's End, released on Pure Metal Records. This was back when this came out. Oh, let's see if I can get all the glare there. When this came out, it was a big deal because, Pure Metal, the brand new record label, as it were, there's all the lyrics. This is an original, by the way, from 86, manufactured in the U.S., all that good stuff. Got the Pure Metal logo here on the back. And how do I know it's an original? Because I bought it when it was new in 86. And it really, really, really is a great record. When Pure Metal Records launched, they, gave the guys a budget. They said, do the record. They did the record. And when Pure Metal launched the label, it was Messiah Prophet Band and Saint. Both of those bands were like flagships for that record label in 86. And, in this album, of course, Richard Lynch on bass, guitar, background vocals, John Mahan on guitars and background vocals, Josh Kramer absolutely killing it on the vocals. And then Brian Willis played drums. He was the drummer for Quarter Flash, hired to come in and play the drums on this particular record. This was also reissued in 2011, remastered by Jay Powell at Steinhaus, issued by Retroactive Records. And we got all that good stuff there. Not to mention, it was then reissued again on a gold disc. Yes, gold disc here from our friends over at Retroactive. And it is fantastic. Sounds great, looks great. But the songs, when this record came out, this was like Judas Priest. Josh Kramer, he played and it sounded like Judas Priest. And the guys said, look, Richard Lynch has always said, that's kind of what we loved musically. That's what I wanted to play. So, honestly, the fact that Josh Kramer could sound like Rob Halford a little bit, isn't that kind of a bonus? That's my little extra 2 cents worth. But we're talking In the Night, Island Prisoner, Space Cruiser, Through You, which was kind of a mellower tune, but I always loved the title track, Time's End. Primed and Ready, what a great riff and guitar solo. Destroyers of the World. And then you get that double fast song of Phantom of the Galaxy. And then the album closer, Steel Killer, which was actually written about submarines in World War II. And the record label said, no, you got to change the lyrics. It's got to be about something else. Can't sing about submarines in a Christian record. Okay. So it became Steel Killer about Satan. Kill him. Let's just kill be aware, the roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. But this is unabashedly traditional, raw heavy metal. When I worked at Dearborn's Bible Bookstore in Hayward, California, back in the day, I remember this record got reviewed. I still have my vinyl around here somewhere too. This album got reviewed in Metal Edge, if I remember right. One of the over-the-counter metal magazines at the time. And I remember this kid comes into the record store. I'm like 19, whatever. And this kid, though, he's like 15, maybe 16. He's all, got this just don't mess with me attitude. And he comes in and he asks about this and he puts it on. And, someone said I should listen to it. And I happen to ask, so what'd you think? It's okay. But I'm sorry. I could tell he wasn't going to give me the satisfaction of going, wow, that was really good. That's the way it was, right? But this record really launched, and it's so memorable. In the Night, that opening scream, Josh Kramer just kills it on the vocal. You get to Space Cruiser. It's got that excellent breakdown in the middle of the song. What a fantastic record. Time's End, again, I love that song. Great vocal performance, great guitar solos. It's straightforward, traditional, heavy metal. It's raw, it's in your face, but it is well produced for what it is. It really is. It doesn't mix or make any bones about it. You could have found this right next to any other underground traditional metal band at the time. Just as good, just as heavy. There's a reason why this is a classic album. And for many of us, it holds a deep place in our heart. And if you're not as old as me and you're like, wow, what does it sound like? It sounds like old school Judas Priest, Armored Saint, that type of heavy metal. Straightforward. And people would complain, they ripped them off. No. Whenever a new band comes out, what do we say? So who did they sound like? Well, they sounded like Iron Maiden. When Fate's Warning came out, who do they sound like? They sound like Queensryche. Oh. Everybody sounded like Queensryche. When Crimson Glory, who do they sound like? They sound like Queensryche. All of these people who complain that the Christian music isn't any good because it sounds like somebody else are forgetting the whole thing, right? That all music sounds like somebody else. You need a reference point. So quit your complaining and enjoy it. If you're that much of a snob, oh well, I can't help you. This album, Saint, Time's End, is a classic, and it deserves to be on your shelf and in your CD player. Until the next time, don't forget to say your prayers, my friends, and God bless.